Hello, everybody. Before I begin, I would just like to say that it's actually not just graduation that we're celebrating today, but it's also Haley Cronin's birthday today. So I was wondering... Yeah, he said he could help us out. I was wondering if we could all sing happy birthday for Haley. Yeah, okay. Happy birthday. So now that I've probably embarrassed her enough. In many ways I find it fitting that we're all here today wearing our caps and gowns because it feels as if we were in a uniform together for the last time as a class. While the reason for our uniforms may be completely different, those blue polos we externally wear to school every day are in many ways an apt metaphor for who we are on the most fundamental level, the same. I do not mean to say that every person on this stage today is similar in every way to the others, but rather I'm attempting to convey that we are all much more similar than we often like to think. At this point, we are all starting over, whether it is at a new school, a new job, or just a new place in general. I'm sure we all share some amount of anxiety about what the future holds, wondering if we have made the best choices or if we even have what it takes to succeed. We are similar in that we have made friends and lost friends, have worked hard towards our individual goals, and have slowly accumulated the tools that are necessary for us to succeed. So why is it that, as we go from early childhood to adulthood, we are constantly taught by society to put up barriers against certain types of people or certain behaviors? We begin our lives as completely innocent and universally understanding, but for some reason we are taught to distrust those around us because of their minuscule physical or emotional differences. This lack of trust and understanding snowballs throughout our lives until we cannot even remember why we dislike certain types of behaviors or certain people, but we just do. We cannot remember just how our personalities became so uniquely ours and ours alone, but maybe we just are not looking at ourselves closely enough. Why do we feel the need to act differently around certain people? Why do we change the way we talk to each other or treat our peers with varying levels of respect? Why do we forget who we truly are on the inside, just to maintain an emotional facade that is destined to collapse at some point? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Not, why do our friends act like that, but rather, why do I act like this? Is this who I really want to be? The truth is that we have all experienced the same feelings: love and heartbreak, success and failure, acceptance and rejection, joy and sadness. It is not these emotions that make us unique individuals, but rather how we choose to cope with them and move forward in life. In Mr. Oliski's psychology class, probably one of the most interesting classes I've ever taken, we recently learned about the coping mechanisms that people use to deal with their problems. These include such common actions as denying the issue, repressing the issue, or projecting the issue onto somebody else, in addition to several more. It is coping mechanisms such as these that can sometimes define our personalities for us. If left unchecked, we can quickly fall into the trap of, say, masking our problems with humor, lashing out at others to escape our own problems, or denying we even have such problems in the first place. The fact is, these are all easy ways to hide from a very difficult reality. We can never run from our problems forever. We must eventually stand face to face with our own thoughts and choose to move forward in life, without the burden of past issues or future stress. I would be willing to bet my life on the fact that virtually everybody in this auditorium today acts differently towards many of their friends from how they truly feel on the inside. Although we may all be unique individuals externally, we all deal with the same internal conflict when dealing with our peers. We have been taught that it is not all right to share your true thoughts or feelings with anybody, because that would open you up to too much judgment or criticism. So instead of simply being themselves, almost every person in the world changes the way that he or she acts around certain people. This obsessive desire to please others is the root cause of a vast amount of inner turmoil and suffering and it is simply unfair to ourselves to continuously refuse to show our true personalities around so many people. Often we do not even realize we are doing it. We simply know that we refuse to talk to somebody whom we dislike, incessantly attempt to impress those we love, and try at all costs to avoid being rejected by our peers. The truth is that it is never truly necessary to be anything different than yourself. If you learn to first love yourself for who you actually are, whether that is reserved or outgoing, a gifted student or a slow learner, a great athlete or a great bench warmer, then it will be much easier to love those around you. So as you all sit in this auditorium today, I ask that you try to open up the real versions of yourselves to each other. Drop any preconceived biases against certain individuals and begin to love those around you, regardless of our perceived differences. The concept that I'm attempting to convey is summarized remarkably well through one of the most famous Bible verses of all time. Corinthians chapter 1, verses 4 through 7 state that love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. This entire quote is perfect to me, but verse 6 in particular stands out. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. The evil that is referred to may not just be speaking of physically evil actions, but also the evil act of judging those around us. I also believe that the truth that is referred to is not simply limited to being honest to others, but extends to being honest with ourselves and our true personalities. Only once we accept the most real versions of ourselves can we begin to love others unconditionally. The main message of the passage is that love will always persevere above any petty argument or superficial dispute, and will ultimately outlast any of its more fleeting emotional counterparts. I'm not sure how much I can change people's perspectives on life with one speech. Probably not very much, if at all. However, if there is one message I can leave you with, it is this. Instead of incessantly judging others and looking for reasons to dislike each other, why don't we try looking for reasons to love those around us? Because we are much more similar than we are often led to believe. Thank you for listening, and I wish each and every one of you, my classmates, the best of luck in everything you decide to pursue moving forward. This is only the beginning. Thank you.